Hey guys, Ratamir, and today we're back in with Fallout New Vegas, the no-hit run. Now, the previous time, we did some of the hardest quests in the game, and today I want to focus on actually progressing the main story. Because I think that what I could do right now is meet up with a few different factions and also do quests for them. But right now I think I've done enough that I can really blaze through the main story on a pretty quick pace. And some factions I shouldn't do just yet if I want to maximize the amount of quests that I can get. Now, to start off, what I'm going to do in this part, it may seem a bit weird, but I need to pick up a certain drug. And in order to do that, we need to go to Gomorrah. Now, Gomorrah here has a special bar for their more luxurious customers. In order to get into there, I could do like the quest, How Little We Know, which I already have in my quest log. What I can also do is just, when I'm hidden, there we go. Now it says caution. And the guy does get weirded out for a second there, but he's weirdly unperceptive. And so as long as you just keep hidden for just a short while, you should be completely fine. Yeah. Now just go through here. And then just talk to this bartender.
Hey there.
And she sells, here we are, Turbo. Now, Turbo in this game is like a worse version of the Jet in Fallout 4. Honestly, I don't really bother with chems all this much in this game. Mainly because they're just weaker versions. Because like Fallout 4 is the one that made them like actually really useful in my opinion. While the ones in this game are a bit more niche for like niche playstyles and everything. Even though they can still be really good though. Also the addiction chances are way higher in this game, I believe. Now Turbo is incredibly addictive. And I really hope that I don't get an addiction from this. Otherwise it's gonna suck really badly. But I do need to use at least one bit of Turbo for what I'm going to do. So first up, just gonna go to Raoul's Shack. Now, the reason that I'm at Raoul's Shack is that I want to do the boomers next, because I'm going to start off this part by talking to Mr.House and doing what he wants for a while. And what he wants, pretty damn quickly, is for me to actually talk and make friends with the boomers. Now, the thing with the boomers is when you try to make contact with them, you have to go run through a field while they shoot artillery at you, and it can be really damn hard to avoid. The best way to do so, however, is if you just go through here. There's this train station that leads to pretty much the other side of the field, where you still have to run through a slight artillery barrage, but it's not nearly as much as it would be if you just go through there normally. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, this is locked very hard, and unfortunately the other side is as well, so this is going to be a bit of a waste, because I'm going to have to use 2 skill books, but it is what it is, I suppose. What I should also do is put on a spacesuit, because I'm going to get a minor amount of rats here. I'm hoping to go through here quickly before I get too much. But yeah, it's pretty much a given that I'm going to take a few rats here. Okay, same as the vault really. I'm just going to go through here. Just keep on moving. Focus on the glowing one first. There we go. Yeah, so you can see that I pick up rats. There's also like mines and stuff in this place. So unless you have light step, I really wouldn't recommend going through here normally. Luckily light step makes things a hell of a lot easier. You can see that his health is a bit lower. I believe he stepped into a mine. Okay, come on, keep moving. Just gotta keep it going now. The problem with glowing ones, even after they've died, is that they leave like a little area of effect of radiation. Uh-oh. Okay, this guy has his legs crippled. There we go. Keep moving. Oh. Yeah, Lakshmi's reader wore off, because I never took the perk which makes skill books last longer, because I didn't think it'd be necessary. But here we are, I suppose. Right, well, that should be all of them. You can see a few mines here, but I don't set them off. Bear traps as well. And Locksmith's reader. Okay, now this is going to be the scary part. You can already see here it says danger, because this is pretty much the field, and the boomers are over on that side. Now, I want to spend as little time as possible in their artillery field, so you can hear that sound as a warning. I'm just going to wait until I hear the first shot go off. Okay, right now, but I'm already quite a bit ahead in the field itself. Now I'm going to use 1 turbo, and I'm going to really hope that I don't get addicted. So 20% chance, here we go! Okay, we're good. Now just run, just run. Just run. Just keep on moving. Because the thing what Turbo does is it slows time for everything, also projectiles. The only thing it doesn't slow time for is your character's movement speed. So as you can see right there, normally the artillery would be way closer, but because the projectile speed was slowed down, I could just run on ahead. And at this point I should pretty much be safe, because I'm already at the fence, and then they stop shooting if you get close enough to the fence. So the turbo might have been a little bit overkill, but I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Hold it right there. Don't you move. How the hell did you survive that bombardment?
And now they just want me to go and meet their elder. Alright, so basically, just to give a really quick recap of what she wants me to become idolized with the boomers by doing various things for them. There's like a bunch of different quests and like side activities that you can do and unmarked quests and all that. And if you do that and you get idolized, then you can do like the final quest for them. And that final quest involves getting something for them. And once you do that, they're on your side for the battle for Hoover Dam. So where do I start?
You picked a good time to stop by, for we're swimming in problems. My youngers can tell you all about it. Raquel could use help with the bug problem. Doc Argyle has wounded he's tending to. And Loyal and Jack might be looking for help with some repairs. Or you could just go see Pete at the museum and hear the story of our people. All you have to do there is listen. Come and go as you like, help or don't help, I leave it up to you. But I hope you'll show my youngers that not every outsider needs to be blown up.
Yeah, these guys are very, very xenophobic and afraid of the outside world. Also, a good thing about the boomers is if you go here early enough in the game, you can really get some valuable loot. Like just, for example, I believe it's like in here, you can just get some combat armor and helmets, which is like pretty damn good armor, especially for this point in the game. I'm just gonna take it so I can sell it later. Now we're here, I can immediately just talk to Raquel.
Mother Pearl's instructions are clear. You can move freely around Nellis, and artillery spotters have orders not to fire on you. These are extraordinary privileges. Don't abuse them.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about the artillery anymore. So, she has a bug problem.
Long story short, the power failed a few days ago because giant ants have tunneled into the generator room and set up a nest. I led a team down to exterminate them, but there were so many of them. We lost. 2 killed, 3 wounded. Personally, I think it's more than a savage can handle. But if you want to kill those ants and switch the power back on, feel free.
And this one's actually quite easy, so sure.
Sure.
And that starts the quest, Ant Misbehaving. Now, she also gives me a warning that I shouldn't use laser weaponry or explosives on the ants, because they've been eating gunpowder. And if you do that, they're gonna pretty much give you like a massive explosion or something like that. Now, before I go and take care of the ants, I should also just move in here, because Loyal has a quest for me, and he also has something that makes dealing with the ants a hell of a lot easier. So, Raquel said you were working on some kind of weapon to fight the giant ants.
I started building a sonic emitter that might do the trick, but it's useless without knowing the exact frequency that would kill the ants.
And here we are. My science at 50, I can help him out.
Hot damn, you're right!
Right, and let's go talk again.
Outsider?
And looking for ways to make myself useful.
If that's so, how about you look into repairing the solar arrays on the roof of the generator building?
And also answer quest Sunshine Buggy. Now there's 2 ways to deal with this quest. Either you go to Helios 1 and pick up a few spare parts there, or if your repair is high enough you can just walk to the broken solar array panels and fix them up yourself, and that's what I'm gonna do when I'm over there anyway for the ants. There's also Jack here.
So you're the outsider. Lived your whole life out there, huh? Wow.
There's this girl that apparently caught his interest, who's working at the Crimson Caravan Company, and he's just asking me to go and talk to her to see if she's also interested in him. That adds the quest, Young Hearts. So let's head on over to that solar array first and deal with that. So while I'm making my way to that solar array and everything, let me just nip past the Nellis workshop. The reason I'm here is for a quest later on. Here we are, a howitzer firing mechanism, and also some more combat armor I can sell. Perfect. Also, while I'm here, even if I do all 3 of those quests, I'm still not going to get to idolize just yet. In order to do that, I'm also going to have to help out a few patients here.
I have 3 patients here who were gravely injured fighting those giant ants in the generator building a few days ago. I've stabilized their wounds, but they're in bad shape. Do you have medical training?
I have extensive medical knowledge. Let's see what I can do.
If what you say is true, you can do us a world of good.
There we go. Now what I'm going to do, obviously, is just put on the follower's lab coat together with today's physician. There we go, and that should raise my medicine up to 70, which should be more than enough. Because this guy needs 50 and higher to do the operation successfully.
Excellent treatment.
There we go.
Thought of that.
This one needs medicine of 40 or higher. Also done.
That man was done for. Well, you brought him around.
And finally, medicine 60.
That was some fine doctoring. I could learn a thing or two from you.
There you go.
Outsider?
Finish treating your patients.
Those men owe you their lives. Seems we could learn a thing or two from you savages, when it comes to medicine at least.
Alright, here we are, the Nellis Array. So here's a broken one. Repair 65 or higher. Now remind me, mine is at 50. Perfect. Because that just means I can use fixing things, which I apparently have 4 of, and just repair it without spare parts. So there's 1, 2, and that's all of them repaired. So that's one quest finished up. Now let's go ahead and solve the ant problem too. There we go. Now if you ask for Loyal's help, you only have to kill a few ants instead of quite a bunch of them. So I can just go for here. Ants are generally pretty slow, so like I don't even have to sneak around, to be honest. But still. I think that one's up top. I hear some scuttling, but that's fine. Because all I need to do now is just place a sonic emitter on there, activate it, and they all immediately explode and die. So that's the end of them. And that's 2 switches. And now also the main one. Alright, perfect. Now I can just return to both Raquel as well as Loyal and tell them about the good news. And before we go there, might as well also pick up this quest with Jack and go and talk to that woman at the Crimson Caravan Company.
Nice looking blonde boy? I always wondered if he was watching me back. What's he like? I'd love to go meet him. Is there any way the boomers would let me visit Nellis?
Now I could say you have permission. Don't do this, it's failed the quest, because she runs over, gets blown up, and Jack cries. So I'll ask Pearl to make an exception for you.
This is so exciting. Let me know how it turns out.
Now Pearl's going to be kind of against it, but it's nothing a good
No
speed
time
check
to
can't
talk,
fix.
outsider. I suppose Jack deserves a chance at love. You can tell Jack she has a free pass to enter, but he is responsible for her actions. Do not make me regret this decision, outsider.
There we go.
Here, take this boomer outfit. I'll let the gunners know she's coming, and not to shoot at her.
There we go. I can just give that to her. Now, Loyal. I repaired the solar arrays and increased their efficiency.
An impressive piece of work. I'll keep that in mind if jobs come up in the future.
There we go. That's that quest complete. And now I'm liked by the boomers already. Now we can also just finish up the quest with Raquel.
Maybe Pearl is right about you, because I don't know how you pulled that off. I'll tell Loyal to send someone down to clear out the eggs and repair the generators. Good work.
And now I'm already idolized by them. It also completes Ant Misbehaving. But let's also finish up Young Hearts. Got a boomer uniform for you.
There's one more thing. I have a work contract with the Crimson Caravan, and if I walk away, I lose the wages they owe me. Could you do just one more thing for me and talk to Alice McLafferty about it? I know if I do it, she'll just say no. I'd hate to lose the money.
Alright. So let's go and talk to Alice.
Janet is free to leave, but she forfeits the wages she's owed. That's the price of contract breaking. Take it or leave it.
And I can just be like, but true love though.
Being sentimental is not how I made the Crimson Caravan so successful. But I'll allow it, just this once. Janet will be paid what she's owed. Consider it a gift.
Thank you for getting Janet to Nellis. I've never been so happy in my entire life.
You're welcome. And it also completes Young Hearts. Alright, now seeing as I'm idolized with the boomers, I can immediately go and talk to Pearl again.
I believe the time has come for you to show your value in full. The people have come to accept having you around. Find Loyal and ask him about our people's fondest dream. He will tell you what to do next.
So basically these people's fondest dream is getting to fly around in an actual plane. They want me to go to a wreckage of a plane that's in Lake Mead and raise it up so that they can retrieve it themselves and repair and use it up here in their airfield.
It's at the bottom of Lake Mead. I'll mark its location on your Pip-Boy map.
And also, how do I get to the bottom without drowning?
Might try holding your breath. If that doesn't sound good enough, talk to Jack. He was working on a rebreather once.
You really do want to talk to Jack, because the rebreather is a pretty damn good item. I don't think you can retrieve it if you already complete this quest without it, so... Maybe you can, actually, I'm not entirely sure.
I just need some parts from a pressure cooker to create a hermetic seal for the rebreather.
Yeah, no, Science 45.
That's a brilliant idea. I can put that together right now. Here you go. A new rebreather.
Perfect, thank you. And I just need to enter the water. Though I should be careful, because there can be cavadors around this place. Still hidden though. Yeah, just gonna quickly enter the water. Up. Here we are, the crashed B-52. So we just attach a ballast here. Attach one there. Go over here. It starts beeping. And when it does, just... pow. There you go. Okay. Now next up, before I move on back to the boomers, I should want to get into that shack over there, because I remember there being some good loot. However, there are quite a few cazadors over there. So what I'm just gonna do is just... there we go. I believe that was all of them. Yeah, okay. Know for a fact there's like a few rats in this place, and they spawn pretty much right on top of you. So I'm just gonna have to go in sneaking. Take you out. Where's the other one? Come on. There we go. Now there's one star bottle cap here. And another one right over there.
What you have done for us is a miracle, child. You have fulfilled the only dreams we ever had outside our walls. You are a trusted friend of us all. If there is ever a way for us to help you, child, tell me, and I will make it so.
I can't just ask for her support during the Battle of Hoover Dam yet, because I haven't really chosen a side. But when the time comes, I'll ask him. Right, now with that done, let's finally head on over and meet with Mr. House. Mr. House.
This meeting has been a long time coming, hasn't it? You've come a long ways, literally, and I suspect figuratively as well. I have to ask, now that you've reached your destination, what do you make of what you see?
Yeah, let's skip the pleasantries. Can we get down to business?
Oh, by all means, yes. That's refreshing. The business is this. One of my employees has stolen an item of extraordinary value from me, and I want it recovered. Simple enough.
What do you propose?
The concern is the recovery of the platinum chip. What happens to Benny, I leave to your discretion. When you bring the chip to me, I will pay you 4 times the delivery bonus stipulated in your contract. How's that?
1,000 caps? Yeah, sure thing. I'm not gonna ask too many questions, because if you want to get into House's backstory and like the reasons for his goals for New Vegas and everything, you can ask, and it's actually really interesting. But just to speed things up a bit, I'm just gonna say, yeah, sure thing, let's go.
Well enough. Return to me when you have the platinum chip in your possession. Any final matters for us to discuss?
I'll return when I have the chip.
Until then.
And the chip, of course, is with Benny at the Tom's Casino. So let's go over there and take care of him. But But yeah, at this point in the story, because, you're moving into the second act, and you might have done things that are like anti-Legion, anti-NCR, without exactly knowing what it means, you get amnesty from both factions, where they're like, okay, we forgive any crimes you've done up to this point, but don't do any more. That's why they both ask you to come and talk to them. Anyway, let's go to the tops.
What in the goddamn? Let's keep this in the groove, hey? Smooth moves, smooth. Hello? That broad everyone saw go in the Lucky 38, that was you? Oh, shit.
Now, I could seduce him, sleep with him, and then kill him, but honestly, probably not. Now, I'm just gonna say, yeah, Mr. House wants a platinum chip. Hand it over.
You don't want to do that, baby. Not without hearing what I gotta say first. What say you and me cash out? Go somewheres more private-like. Any questions you got, I'll answer. To start, I'll comp you the presidential. Best suite in the house. You deserve a taste of the VIP lifestyle. I'll hang out down here for a while to make everything look business as usual, then come to you. Any questions you got, I'll answer. Guaranteed.
Now, if you say fine, but don't keep me waiting, you go to the suite, and then you basically get ambushed by all of his bodyguards, and he's like, yeah, by the way, I'm not coming by. So let's not do that. Let's actually use speech 60. 2 conditions, lose the bodyguard, so we both go to the suite now.
If that's what it takes to win your trust, that's what it takes. Follow me.
Now, he's gonna head on over to the presidential suite. And that's fine, because while he's going over there, I'm gonna talk to his second in command over there. And I can tell him all about what Benny's been planning, and that he's been trying to go up against Mr. House.
Really?
It's just a bunch of very basic speech checks you can give.
Huh? Jesus, kid, I think we got a real problem on our hands. Can't believe Benny's a no-good stinking punk, trying to play house like that. Tell you what, I'll call Benny, keep him away from his suite. You go search the place. Here's the key, it's on the 13th floor. It's a room with the double doors, can't miss it. Maybe you'll find something we can show to Mr. House and get him arrested.
We don't have time for that, we need to take him out right now.
Take him out? Jesus. Okay, well, if you think that's the best way to deal with this, I'll send him up to his room, you can ambush him there. And don't worry about the rest of the chairman. I'll keep him from getting involved. You'll still have to watch out for Benny's guards, though.
So I did the bit in a weird way, because you don't actually have to talk to him, but you know what, more XP, why not, I guess. Okay, sure, I'll do it.
Here's your stuff back, in case Benny don't go quiet, you dig? I'll tell the boys to give you a pass to pack some heat. Go on then. Elevators are past the slot machines on your right.
Alright, so Benny arrives. Now, he's gonna want to talk to me, but I'm really not in the mood for that, so instead, I think I'm just gonna do that. There we go. I'll take his suit, because it's iconic, his special gun, and the platinum chip as well. And killing him gives you a bunch of XP, and getting the platinum chip also gives you a bunch of XP. And that's enough to level me up. You know what? I'm kind of running out of skill books here, so I might as well just get this to 100. And you know what? Energy weapons can go to 96. And the rest can go into speech. There we go. Because I'm going to get like a really easy skill book for energy weapons anyway, so this is going to go to 100 no matter what. And completes Ring-a-Ding-Ding.
The eyes of the mighty Kaiser are upon you. He admires your accomplishments and bestows upon you the exceptional gift of his mark. Any crimes you may have perpetrated against the Legion are hereby forgiven. Kaiser will not extend this mercy a second time. My lord requires your presence at his camp at Fortification Hill. His mark will guarantee your safe conduct through our lands.
Now both Mr. House, Caesar's Legion, and the NCR all want to work with me. I'm going to work with all of them for at least a short while, but let's first bring the platinum chip back to Mr. House. Here you go.
Such a small thing, isn't it? And yet so capacious. So very dear.
So what happens next?
A great deal shall be happening. A cascade of events with you taking a central role. At the moment, however, all you need to do is take the elevator all the way down to the bottom level. You'll understand soon enough.
What the platinum chip did is give a huge upgrade to Securitrons, and he gives you this long-winded demonstration where they now have like a Gatling laser and missiles. And that completes The House Always Wins 1. So what happens next?
The next step will require you to infiltrate Caesar's camp at Fortification Hill. I want you to open a hatch in the basement of the derelict weather station atop Fortification Hill. You'll recognize it on sight. The hatch bears the logo of the Lucky 38, same as the platinum chip. Here, take the platinum chip again. You will need it. Upon arrival at the fort, it's likely that you'll be searched and the chip taken from you. Don't worry, it will come back to you.
And that starts The House Always Wins too. Now I need to make my way over to Caesar's Legion's place. In order to do that, I'm going to have to head on over to Cottonwood Cove. Of course, Cottonwood Cove is completely filled with rats now because of previous things I've done. So let's go on over to Cottonwood Overlook instead. So I'm just going to go from here to avoid any and all rats. Can I just jump up? Here we are.
I warned them about that truck weeks ago. Always be prepared for any hazardous radiation, I said. Those headstrong fools should have listened. Are you ready to head upriver?
Yep, let's go.
The trip will take a few hours. Take your place on the boat.
And so, just like with casinos, I'm going to have to disarm. That's fine, and we also officially made our way to the fort. So I'm just going to ask, what is considered a banned item?
Alcohol and all chems, including stims and other addictive items.
Now with speech 35, I can just say that I need to bring the chems along. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm not sure if Stealth Boy counts as a chem, but I think it might. And I would really like to use Stealth Boys later on, so I have to bring them along. Congenital heart defect.
I know not why Caesar would wish to speak with such a physically inferior whelp, but I will allow this one exception. You may bear Caesar's mark, but do not attempt to share any of your medicine with anyone in the fort.
And of course, seeing as I've forgiven all my crimes, that means all the infamy that I've scored up is completely gone, but all the fame that I have isn't. So if we were to look here, I'm now idolized by Caesar's Legion, idolized by the boomers, idolized by the followers, liked by the great cons, liked by Freeside, idolized with the NCR, and pretty much every single major faction in this game has a positive opinion of me, which is pretty hard to do. And it won't last for too long either. And finally, here's the man himself. Caesar, what's up, buddy?
You're the courier who caused so much trouble for my legion, and yet you dare come before me. The garrison I established at Nelson has been wiped out. Years of meticulous scheming to place a mole at Camp McCarran. Wasted. So tell me this, because I really want to know. I am feared, with good reason. But you, of all people, dare to come here and stand before me, the mighty Caesar. What were you thinking?
Well, you know, I need to get that platinum chip back.
We'll talk about the platinum chip when the time comes. In the meantime, you do know why I wanted to meet you, right? A man nearly kills you, so you track him across the breadth of the Mojave. You arrive on the strip and waltz into the Lucky 38 like someone left you a key under the doormat. You assassinate the head of the chairman in his own casino and get away with it. Then something happens to Mr.House's robot, some kind of military upgrade. When you set your mind to something, you get results. I like that. The question is, are you ready to get started? The time is fast approaching when my legion will assault the Great Dam and invade the West. Before that happens, I want Mr. House knocked out of the game. A quick 1-2 punch, with you doing the punching.
Okay, what do I have to do?
Down the hill, at the west edge of camp, is an old building. It was here when the fort was taken in 2277. Inside the building is a hatch. And inside that hatch are 2 steel doors that bear the sigil of the Lucky 38 casino. Now that same sigil is on the platinum chip you were carrying. Isn't that interesting? Even more interesting, there's a slot about the same size as the chip on the console that opens the hatch. So you know what I think? I think the platinum chip opens those doors. Doors that can't be pried open, or drilled open, or blasted open. Because all that, I tried.
Alright, and once I'm inside.
I want you to destroy whatever you find in there. And then I want you to come back here and tell me about it. So go to the building and take this fucking platinum chip with you. My legionaries will meet you there, with your weapons and equipment. Goodbye.
There you go. Alright, before I go on, let me actually talk to Lucius here.
It is a great honor for anyone outside the Legion to get an audience with Caesar.
Is there anything that you need me to do?
We recently obtained an artillery weapon, but we don't have the part or the skill to fix it.
See what I can do.
The tribe calling themselves the Boomers is obsessed with such weapons, I've been told.
And then that's the quest. I hear you knocking. And that's why I needed the howitzer firing mechanism, so I can just put that in a moment. Also, if we just get out of conversation and talk to him again.
You've proven yourself to be a true friend of the Legion. We have a safe house available to our agents in the Mojave. Here's the key. It's an excellent place to rest and store extra equipment. In addition, one of our veterans, Atticus, visits the house every few days. While he's there, you can acquire items useful for stealthy operations against our enemies from him.
Alright. And that Legion safe house is really damn good, and I'm going to be visiting that very, very soon. So that's one side quest I can pick up. Also, let's talk to Vulpes here.
I suspect you'll be a valuable asset to the Legion. Assuming you're really on our side, of course.
Was there something you needed me to do?
There's a gambler, Martina Grosbeck, who has a knack for learning other people's secrets and passing that information along for a price. The Omertas, who run Gomorrah, have become suspicious of Martina's frequent visits to their casino. Soon they'll pay her a visit of their own.
And let me just check up on her for you.
Good. Martina frequents the Vault 21 gift shop on the Strip.
And that's the quest, the Finger of Suspicion.
Maybe in one piece by the time you get there.
Now, Caesar doesn't quite allow me to leave the fort yet, but when I can, I'll be sure to do those quests. The thing with New Vegas, and especially the Legion, is that it had a very short development time, so a lot of stuff had to be cut. And a lot of Legion content was cut for this, so most of the side quests are ones where you have to either pick that side or the NCR side, like the Battle for Nelson, for example, where I could have also chosen to help out the Legion if I really wanted to, but I helped out the NCR, so that cut me off from doing the Legion path. And I've done that with pretty much every single side quest that involves choosing for either of them, which means that the two side quests that I picked up for the Legion are really the only two ones remaining that I can do for them, and are actually the only two ones that don't have like an NCR equivalent. So these are pretty much the only two remaining Legion side quests that I can do, and I can immediately finish this one up because I already picked up the howitzer firing mechanism. After that's only the Finger of Suspicion left, and that's pretty much every single side quest for the Legion done.
Well done. It will be very useful in the coming battle against the snipers the NCR will no doubt have hidden in the hills near the dam.
There we go. Feels kind of weird to help them against the NCR, but then again, I'm just here to do side quests. So now Caesar wants me to blow up whatever's down there in that vault. Meanwhile, Mr.House wants me to do something completely different. Luckily, Caesar won't find out if you help out Mr.House, and he just assumes that you've done as he asks anyway. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So let's go on in.
Caesar has permitted your weapons to be returned to you while you serve him.
Insert the platinum chip into the slot. And now this thing actually opens. And just like with the irradiated vaults, there's also a lot of radiation in here. However, this one is actually a hell of a lot easier, and I should be able to cruise my way through this one. Put on the spacesuit again, pop some quick radics, and head on in.
I see you reached your destination safely. Shall we get to work? As you know, the Platinum chip upgrades my Securitron's operating software. Well, there's an army of them here. The Securitrons policing the Strip are a fraction of the total number manufactured. The rest I stored here. I need you to manually upload the data from the chip to the facility's primary computer. There's a terminal at the other end of this facility. There's a complication. While I can broadcast to this screen, I can't control any of the facility's systems. That means I can't deactivate its security bots, most of which appear to be active according to the status board I'm looking at.
Oh, that's fine. It's not going to be a problem, because if I do this correctly, I only have to fight one enemy in this entire bunker. So I'll upload the data as you ask.
Good. I won't hold you up any longer.
Okay, so let me just get this out real quick. Now, just gonna real quick do that. Now, that should be the only hostile enemy throughout. Because if I just go into here, with high enough science, I can just disable every single one of these things. So, here's the first one. Cancel the security alert. So that takes out the turrets. And we can also cancel the protectrons and make them stand down. There we go. Now we can just keep walking. And every single enemy here should be disabled now. No turrets, no protectrons, no nothing. The only enemies that can go hostile are sentry bots. But those will only go hostile if you intend to blow up this place instead of just activating it. Just go through here and insert the platinum chip and install the Mark II upgrade software. Done. Okay, let's look at the amount of rats that I have actually, I'm curious. Only 217, that's perfect. Mr. House.
Your work here is done. Return to the Lucky 38 so we can discuss next steps. You have a very bright future ahead of you. Thanks to your actions today, so does the rest of mankind.
Let's head out. Alright.
You've carried out Caesar's will, but I must confiscate your equipment again.
Here you go.
You're free to leave.
Let's go and talk to Caesar again.
I felt the ground shake a while ago. I'll take that as a sign you've got the job done. Let's press on, shall we? As I was telling you before, I want Mr. House out of the picture. You have an interest in his death, too. If he knows that you destroyed his gadgets beneath the fort, he will strike back. You know where to find him. How he dies, I leave up to you.
Alright, I'm just gonna say, yes, I'll eliminate him for you, but this is as far as I'll actually work with Caesar's Legion during the main quest.
Good. Don't know what kind of security he has inside the Lucky 38, but if you can find a way of catching him off guard, do so.
Alright, now with that done, before we return to House, let's actually finish up the Finger of Suspicion and find Martina Grusbeck, like Vulpes and Colta asked us. Alright, back here at the Vault 21 gift shop. Head on over here.
There's some serious. This ain't your business. Walk off and forget you saw anything.
So, speech 50. The Legion is watching out for this woman. Go ahead, cross them. I dare you.
Shit. Look, we're just following orders. We, need to take this up with the boss. Shit going on between NCR and
so they walk off.
Better not fuck with our
Now, I could talk to her, and then what she basically says is like, God, thank you, I've been spying on them for like this, for this colonel in the NCR. And then that's how you get like the Camp McCarran Mole quest line, but then for the Legion side instead. So apparently liked by the strip. Okay, I'm not entirely sure why.
Excuse me, but are you the courier who caused all of that trouble in the tops?
Oh, also, while walking to Lucky 38, I run into this woman. Basically, what she wants me to do is help the followers out by bugging one of Mr. House's computers. You do that, and then it turns out it just doesn't work, because Mr. House's defense system is just that damn good. You can even go to Mr. House and ask and tell him, like, oh, by the way, the followers want me to plant this bug on you. And he's like, on one of your computers, and he's like, oh, well, you know, you're welcome to try it, it's not going to work anyway. So it's a very small quest, and I might as well just immediately do it.
Here, take this packet sniffer. It'll allow us to intercept data on Mr. House's network. You might have to manually remove the encryption from his data network, but hopefully you won't have too much trouble. Good luck.
It's a really easy quest. I think this one was like cut down a lot in development. And there was like a lot more to it, but for now, literally all I have to do is just walk over to here. Bug the Lucky 38 network. And just return to her, and that's literally the entire quest.
It looks like we started getting reports.
And it'll give you 500 XP for some reason.
The others will be able to make some sense of this. Oh, what the hell? The bug went offline. Damn it! I swear to God that old man has thought of everything. Well, it looks like this was all for nothing. But you did your best. I appreciate the help.
The foundation is laid. My Securitrons on the strip
That
are
completes
upgraded.
The House Always Wins, number 2.
Ready for action. Now it's just a matter of adjusting the attitudes of some lesser groups while we wait for Caesar's Legion to attack Hoover Dam.
What's the next step?
Outside New Vegas, at what was once called Nellis Air Force Base, resides an unusual tribe known as the Boomers. They are, shall we say, aggressively reclusive. They have several howitzers they fire at anyone who dares approach the base. Artillery of this sort has a range of several miles. If it's going to fire on Hoover Dam, I want it firing at my targets. If not, then I want to make sure that the Boomers don't sign similar treaties to fire their guns in support of the NCR or Caesar's Legion.
Well, I'll make sure they support the right side.
Use extreme caution when approaching the base.
And that adds the quest. The house always wins 3. Now, oh, by the way, I leveled up again. Of course I did. Let's put some points into sneak. I think it's about high time I actually raise that up a bit. Robotics expert, might as well. We get this sooner rather than later. There may be a battle in the near future at the Hoover Dam. Can you offer any assistance?
Of course, my child. After all that you have done for us, we would love to help you in the upcoming battle.
Well done. The Boomer's firepower may prove an advantage when the battle for Hoover Dam comes around. Your next assignment won't take you far. It concerns the Omertas and their den of vice, Gomorrah. As the decisive encounter between the bull and the bear looms close, my concerns about the Omertas have grown. I've never expected loyalty, mind you. A reliably underhanded tribe is just as constant to deal with as one that always runs true. But that's just it. Lately, the Omerta's cooperative silence has been deafening. Not a single complaint. They're up to something.
So sure, I'll check into the Omertas. And that adds the quest, the house always wins 4. Now he wants me to check up on the Omertas and do their quest. I'm not going to do that. So if I do that now, the house always wins 4. It's pretty much the point of no return. Because if I do this now, then the NCR and Caesar's Legion will both refuse to work with me any further because they know that I'm working with Mr. House. So this is pretty much, the house always wins 4 is the one quest that I cannot do. But seeing as we worked a lot with Mr. House, I think we should do Wildcard, Ace in the Hole. We should search Benny's room in the tops for clues on what exactly he was planning. Because things are going to move a bit fast now. And what do you know? Here's a Skirtron named Yes Man.
Hey! Hi there! Good to meet you. What can I do for you today?
It's going to be a big exposition dump, but basically all you need to know is that Benny reprogrammed a Skirtron to help him take over New Vegas. And if you want to have like an independent New Vegas that you ruled over, you can do that together with Yes Man. So now that we've done as much as we can with Mr. House, I'm going to do as much as I can with Yes Man here.
Goal number 1 is to eliminate Mr. House and install my neurocomputational matrix on the Lucky 38's mainframe. Given how you're a new arrival, I also recommend that you get to know some of the region's tribes, so you can decide how you feel about them. By the time you finished up all of that, the Legion should be close to attacking Hoover Dam, and we'll execute the last phase of the plan.
Then that adds wildcard change in management, and also wildcard side bets. Now wildcard side bets is the big one, where you basically have to make contact with every single one of the major factions inside the entire game. And change in management is where you have to kill or disable Mr. House. Now, there's also a cutoff point here, a point of no return if you go with this path, and that's if you finish both of these. So you can finish one of these, but the moment you finish both, that's when the NCR and the Legion and everything will no longer work with you. So, seeing as side bets is the way longer quest, I'm instead going to go do change in management real quick and finally kill Mr. House. So, Mr. House, was fun working with you, but I think I'm done now. So all I need to do is activate this terminal and then go into the secret path. But the moment I do, all of these guys are going to go hostile. Also, this terminal is often locked hard. Sometimes locked hard, but sometimes it also isn't. And from what I've heard, it's dependent on whether you have the platinum chip in your inventory or not. And seeing as I do right now, that's why there's no hard lock on this. So in order to do that, all I'm going to have to do is, first off, can I just deactivate you real quick? I don't even think it's necessary, to be completely honest, but... Okay, the problem is he will actually detect me. So you know what, I'm just going to push him away now. This is purely for safety. I'm pretty sure I can just sneak past him, but I'd rather play it safe than sorry, you know? So I'm detected right now. Let's just... There we go, hidden. Let's make sure I stay hidden with the stealth boy. Activate this terminal. Open the chamber. Yep. Immediately go into caution. Everything's fine. Just keep moving. That fails. The house always wins. Go in here. Unlock the control room elevator. And let's get on in. And out comes Mr. House. Who looks pretty awful, you know, seeing as he's been alive for over 200 years.
Centuries of preparation. So much good undone.
Now I can say by Caesar's command you will die, or yes, man, need you out of the way. Or, yeah, you know what, yes, man, need you out of the way.
Your vanity project, doomed to fail.
Time for you to die, Mr.House.
May there be a hell for you. A Tartarus, bleak, unending.
Yes, very sad. Now, I'm not sure if the explosion actually harms you in any way if you get too close. So, what I'm just gonna do... There's no need to be cruel, I can just immediately take him out, right? So, boom. And that's the end of Mr. House. And that immediately ends in favor of the quest The House Has Gone Buffed. And Securitrons are also no longer hostile, so that's nice. Now, I can't do a finish up wildcard change of management just yet, because that counts as a crime against the Legion. And seeing as I'm already on a pretty tight leash with them, the moment I finish up that quest, they're no longer going to work with me at all. So what I should do first is the Finger of Suspicion and hand in that quest. Before I do that, let me just actually add on over to the Caesar's Legion safe house, because there's something very important there that I want to pick up. So, here we are, the Caesar's Legion safe house. Let's head on in. Veteran Atticus.
What do you want?
Now, the good thing about this guy right here, Veteran Atticus, is that he's always here inside the safe house, and the good thing about him is if you ask if you can get some supplies.
I have some goods collected during my travels. You may take something if you wish.
And you can ask for stealth boys, and he gives you 2. And this is the only repeatable way of you being able to actually get stealth boys in this entire game. And it's an unlimited amount. He returns, I believe, every 2 or 3 days. So if I really wanted to, I could just wait here and get as many stealth boys as I want. So from now on, I pretty much have an unlimited amount of stealth boys, which is what makes the Caesar's Legion safe house so damn good. I'm just gonna say, I want some.
Take it.
So I get 2 from him, which is very kind. But also pretty damn good. Over here, you have like a bunch of Legion armor and stuff. And a chainsaw, which is a pretty damn good melee weapon. But what I'm actually here for, and also the Displacer Glove, which I believe is actually silent, so I might as well pick that up instead of the Spiked Knuckles. The reason I'm here, actually, though, is for the Lucky Shades. And this is the only way you can get them, by being nice to Caesar's Legion, like I was. And this is pretty much the only thing that was missing from my regular outfit, because these shades give a +1 to your luck permanently. So, from now on, I'll be wearing these, and if I were to look at my special stats, I now finally have a luck of 10. So that's nice. So yeah, Caesar's Legion safe house, definitely worth becoming idolized with, or at least liked with Caesar's Legion for, because this thing is pretty damn good all around. And the reason I wanted to become idolized with Caesar's Legion, like necessarily idolized, is because even now when I betrayed him, I'll go to Wild Child, just like I did before, which means that I shouldn't have any Legion assassins after me, because those guys are absolutely vicious. I really don't want to face them at all.
Excellent. Had you simply killed them, the Omertas would have sent another group after Martina eventually. You've saved me the trouble of coming up with a more permanent solution. And Martina is free to go about her business as usual. Well done.
There we go, and that completes the Finger of Suspicion, the very last side quest for Caesar's Legion available to me. So with that done, I really don't have any more business here in the fort. And as soon as I move on with the NCR side quests, these guys are all going to be hostile forever to me, and they're not really going to like me anymore. So there's really no reason to stick around here anymore, except for one thing. Yeah, it's actually quite a minor thing. See, there's one really long-winded NCR quest that I haven't done yet, and at the end of that side quest, there's 3 possible solutions. 2 of them have like their positives, but also their negatives to it. But there's also one really hard to get optimal solution. And to get the optimal solution in that quest, even though I'm not going to do it yet, you're forced to kill Caesar. So I'm going to do something really, really stupid right now, especially for a no-hit run, and try and kill Caesar. So what I'm just going to do is just head on over here. See, this is why I picked up those stealth boys earlier. Because all I'm going to do is just pop a stealth boy, get the Spiked Knuckles out. Let's make sure I'm not spotted by anyone. Alright, Caesar. Uh-oh. I was hoping that would kill him.
even know how to fight.
Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, well, I'm immediately a wild child, which is like the lowest I can possibly go. Caesar is dead. I'll take his armor, just for fun. Now, we need to GTFO immediately. Because I'm in caution. And the entire camp is hostile now. Just keep moving. Keep moving. Okay, just place a random marker just so I know where the exit is. Yeah, no one's really cool with me anymore, believe it or not. Alright, now, you might be thinking that I need to make my way to the door as quickly as possible. Bad idea, because if you go to the door, you automatically transport yourself over to Cottonwood Cove, and it takes a few hours. The problem is, I didn't take out the ferryman or his guards, so the moment I travel to Cottonwood Cove, I'm gonna spawn right next to that guy, and like 3 other legionary guys, so probably a terrible idea. Now, I could use a second stealth boy, but I'm not sure if one stealth boy is enough to make it all the way over to the exit. So I'm gonna go for a different strategy instead. I'm gonna do, so if I go over here, there shouldn't be any Legion guys. So if I just keep moving this way until it says you can't wait to enemies, here we are, okay. Really hoping this works now. Let's just travel on back to the strip. Alright, perfect. So seeing as we moved on through the story very fast, took out House, took out Caesar, and went as far as we could with Yes Men without pissing off the NCR too much, I think we should call the part here. Next time, we're gonna look at the different factions, some of the more difficult side quests that I've waited on doing, and we're also gonna deal with quite a few other smaller factions that are still left in the game. But that's all for next time. For now, I just want to say thank you all for watching. This has been Fallout New Vegas, the no-hit run, and I'll see you all next time.